Hi, and welcome to Camille's Country Corner. I am Camille, and on today's episode, we will be making some homemade chili. It is rainy and nasty out today, and so I thought it would be a great idea to make some chili and maybe even some homemade cornbread, but we'll see about that. All right, let's get started. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and let's go. For this recipe, you will need some ground beef, some ground sausage. I'm using pork sausage here today. I have some crushed tomatoes, a couple of cans of beans. I'm using the white northern beans or cannelloni beans. I am using some tomatoes, both crushed and diced. I'm using some rotel. I have some chili peppers. I have mushrooms. I have poblanos, an onion, a couple of random tomatoes from my garden, some tomato sauce. I have some beef bouillon, some taco seasoning, and I have some cumin, garlic powder, Italian seasoning, some basil, and some chili powder, which is sitting in with everything else. And I also have some fresh garlic. A lot of ingredients, but it all is worth it. All right, let's get this started. All right, we're just going to cut up first the random tomatoes from my garden. Just going to put those in a small dice. I would have went out and picked the rest of them today, but it's still raining out here. We're getting all the weather from the hurricane that came through in Louisiana. But we're nowhere near like what everyone else got. That's for sure. Our temperatures dropped a bit and we got some rain, but nothing like poor people in New Orleans got. All right, I have some poblanos from my garden. I have about 2 poblanos. Well, no, I have 4. Sorry. Apparently I can't count. Go ahead and chop those up. Dice them up. And I just have 1 medium-sized onion. Now, in case you haven't had a poblano is in the chili family, and it's not as spicy as a jalapeno, but it's not bland like a bell pepper. Has a little bit of heat to it, not too much. I don't know about these because they do smell spicy. And the past few times I've cooked with them, they've all been pretty spicy. So we'll see. That's what sour cream and cheese is for at the end. Am I right? These definitely look like jalapenos, but I promise you, they are poblanos. Oh, that rain is coming down. Doesn't rain always make you feel, because we're getting close to fall, makes you want to make all of the comfort dishes? It does me. Okay, over to the stove we go. All right, to my pan, I have added just a little bit of olive oil. I'm gonna go ahead and add my veggies in here. Probably about a tablespoon of olive oil. To my pan, I'm going to go ahead and add my ground beef and my sausage. I have 1 pound of ground beef here. This is 85.15. And I'm also adding 1 pound of mild ground sausage. And I think this is the Italian, which just means it has some added spice. The Italian spices, we're going to add those anyway, so it all works out. Alright, I have a meat chopper here somewhere, excuse my arm. Here we go. To make our life a little bit easier, these choppers are wonderful. I think Amazon sells them. I bought this from one of my kids' fundraisers, as my daughter reminds me. Alright, at this stage of the game, I like to add my Italian seasonings. So we're going to add about a tablespoon of Italian seasoning at this time. And probably about the same for the basil. And because I like mine to have a nice beefy flavor, I am going to be adding about 2 teaspoons of our beef bouillon, teaspoon of garlic powder, alright, at this point we're just browning the beef. Doesn't matter if the veggies are all the way cooked through, because we are going to be letting our chili simmer for quite some time. Alright, let's go ahead and add our garlic. I'm probably adding about 5 cloves of garlic here. Alright, now we're going to want to transfer this to our big pot. And yes, I could have started it in this big pot. I just didn't. Why? Because apparently I want to do a lot of dishes today. Alright, so our beans, okay, our beans are 15.5 ounces. I am adding 2 cans of beans and my can of mushrooms. My can of mushrooms was probably about 4 ounces. I'm adding 4 ounces of chili peppers. Mine, oops, apparently the can too. Mine are mild. I am adding a 14.5 ounce of petite diced tomatoes, 10 ounce can of diced tomatoes with green chilies, or Rotel if you buy that brand. I am adding a 1 pound or 28 ounces of crushed tomatoes. All right, and I am also adding 24 ounces of just regular traditional marinara sauce, pasta sauce. I am also filling up that 24 ounce of pasta sauce with 1 can or 24 ounces of water. All right, we've got a great big pan of chili that we are going to let simmer. But before we do that, we are going to add about 1/4 cup of chili powder here, because I like to heavily spice my chili because I want my chili to actually taste like chili. I am also going to add about 2 tablespoons of ground cumin. And because taco seasoning has everything that you need in it, And if you definitely don't want to add the salt, get the low sodium, but I am adding 2 packages of taco seasoning to mine. It's got everything that I want in here. And I'm going to be adding 2 bay leaves. But since mine are in about 1,000 little leaves, I'm going to add about 4 of these little leaves here. I got 3, 4, 5. I'm going to add 5 to mine. You just fish them out at the end. Now I might add just a pinch of brown sugar, but we're going to see how this tastes after it's been simmering for a little bit. Let me see. Wow, my poblanos acted just like chili, or just like jalapenos, and super spicy. That is probably telling me something here. All right, I am actually going to add about a tablespoon of brown sugar here. Mine is dark brown, but it doesn't matter. And or you can omit this step and not add any sugar here. Okay, at this point, I am going to bring this up to a boil, and then I am going to let this simmer for approximately 1 hour, and I'll bring you back for the seasonings and see if we need anything else. All right, this has been cooking for approximately, what, an hour, I would say. So let's go ahead and test this. I have lost my spoon. It has definitely thickened up. Oh, look, there's one of the bay leaves. Let's go ahead and start to pull those out since we have got it up. It's always a treasure hunt to find those bay leaves. Okay, let's test this for seasonings. It is perfect. It doesn't need anything else, but it sure is spicy. Woo! All right. Let me show you what this looks like all plated up with our sides and everything else on it. All right, friends, let's put this together. So in my bowl, I have some corn chips. We're going to go ahead and add some of the chili here. Piping hot. I have some sour cream, and I have some taco cheese. All right, beautiful dish. Now I let this chili sit on the stove for about an hour so everything could thicken up, and if needed, I would have added some tomato paste. So if yours isn't as thick as mine, then you can go ahead and add tomato paste. For this meal, we're going to have some during the week, but I'm also going to freeze probably about half of this. That way I can have it in my freezer and pull it out whenever I need it. Shall we give this a try? A little bit spicy, but oh so tasty. Oh my goodness. We have added just the right amount of herbs. Sorry, my oven was going off. I have some cornbread in there for tonight's dinner. It just wasn't ready yet, but it's one of those box mixes, so that's not homemade, and you just follow the directions on the box. It comes out delicious and super easy to make. I hope you try this recipe or some version of it. And if you do, let me know in the comments below. And I hope if you haven't yet, you definitely hit subscribe, and we'll put out more videos just like this. Lots of homemade from scratch recipes 3 times a week. And if you haven't, definitely hit that like button. And I'm sure glad you stopped by here today. We'll catch you on the next one. Have a good one.